Is that a 6-farm Warren? I think I missed that timing.
That was a 7-farm Warren.
That was 7. That
Loof,
seemed like a really fast squirrel for a 7-farm Warren.
It was a fairly short map. The bases were kind of close together, with the roads just going straight between them. But also worth noting, Loof, it was about a 90 food Warren. If it placed it a little bit earlier, that might have gone a bit differently. That squirrel that poked that farm was so close to dying.
Yeah.
That pig might not have died if it was an earlier Warren. He also could have, having scouted it, placed down a mole or something just to tank, and that's a fast unit to bring out.
Yeah.
That could have helped a bit too.
Alright, well, both players going for the same build so far. Loof going for the exact same build. Reordering them a little bit, perhaps going to change up what order he's going to put these units out. Zenith going for barbed wire.
Interesting.
It's an interesting choice. Again, those moles and those chameleons are just going to melt through that barbed wire, but squirrels cannot get past barbed wire. They can walk through it and take 1 damage per second, but they can't actually damage that barbed wire. Now, he does have pigeons to back up those squirrels, so that'll mitigate some of the barbed wire damage, but we'll see.
Going into game 2, Loof to the northwest as red, Zenith to the south as green. This is a really long map. Look at this.
Well, that's giant. Looks like 2 expansions on the west side of the map and 3 on the east side of the map. Both players have a fair amount of access to expansions. I don't think either one has a particular advantage. Zenith does have that ledge right above his base. If Loof can pull any kind of squirrel up there, he'll be able to pick off farms, unless Zenith has vision onto that high ground.
Very true. Both players going up to 7 farms right now. 8 farms for Loof, 8 farms for Zenith, both opting for a longer start, probably due to the map size.
We'll see how Zenith decides to deal with this ledge above his base. I don't know whether it's the kind of thing where just putting out pigeons early could help, or maybe even a machine gun up on that ledge. Or taking that base even.
If he expands to that base, that would be fairly easy to defend, although it does have that water, which means the reinforcements would be slightly slower.
Zenith does have sniper balloons. I missed that. Sniper balloons will help. If he puts one just near his base, he'll be able to pick up that high ground vision.
Loof already up to 3 squirrel warrants. Zenith just building his 3rd. The Zenith is actually ahead slightly on the squirrels. Or nope, they're even now. They're about even.
Alright, both players putting out 3 squirrel warrens. And really, we'll see if it comes down to the first engagement again. Zenith throwing out chameleons.
Ooh.
Whereas Loof has put down a mole and another squirrel warren.
That's, if those chameleons get out before Loof puts down, I don't know, chameleons of his own, that'll give Zenith a good advantage in these fights. It looks like they're going to be opting for fighting along the west side of the map rather than taking the long road. If they just go through the west side, that's a shorter route, I think.
I just want to take note here that Zenith had his army positioned right here to protect against that high ground. It's a very smart move, especially with Loof bringing his army over right now. We'll see. They'll be on that, Zenith's army will be on that low ground. Loof deciding to not fight on that high ground, which...
That's really... yeah.
Maybe not getting corralled into a corner, but here goes the first engagement of this game. The chameleon is out.
Oh, there's chameleons out. Both of them out now.
Still,
Loof's army is going to get swept up.
And those moles just aren't going to do any good against 2 chameleons, which keep all of their, or most of their health.
That is not a bad outcome. Not a good outcome for Loof.
Chameleon's out for Loof. Chameleon's out for Loof as well, but his first one going down. And this army from Zenith is just going to keep pushing as far as it can. Canceling 2 warrens smartly, Loof.
Loof just... he was bringing all his units in one at a time. If he'd just waited at his base a bit longer, he might have had a better chance of holding the defense. And there goes game 2.
All right.
Zenith takes up the second game in the semi-finals. Best of 5 match. I'm really confused as to why Loof didn't use the high ground advantage there. He could have picked off all, I don't know, 3 farms before Zenith could get an engagement.
Something like that. I mean, it could be that, you know, if you go for that kind of engagement, if your units are focusing on the farms, if Zenith's army had come around up the high ground, or up from the low ground, they could have caught Loof's army in that little pocket, because there's no way Loof could have gotten out, so it would have been